In this recession, one industry's booming, one where people say they earn tens of thousands of dollars per month. They make their own hours, and the work's not that hard. They call it a mutually beneficial arrangement. Others say it's just prostitution. Yasmin wants $5,000 to $10,000 a month. She's seeking a sweet and kind sugar daddy. In return, she says she'll make him very happy. Melly, who says she's 18 and a model, asks men, email me with your maximum budget. 23-year-old Erin Miller, who describes herself as a model/artist, advertised that she's looking for a fun relationship with benefits, financial benefits.
I'm dating about 4 sugar daddies right now.
She and thousands of women found their sugar daddies on a website called Seekingarrangements.com. Women join for free. They'll post pictures and say what they're looking for in exchange for some kind of relationship.
Money helps tremendously with happiness because I would not be happy dating a guy who lived at home in his parents' basement.
Erin's only advertised herself on the site for a couple of months, yet already
My life has changed drastically in the last 2 months. I've been shopping all over, nice cars, I got a new condo. That was really cool. Also my diamonds, I love my diamonds. Every day is a new adventure, go horseback riding, go on the yacht.
One man lets her use this yacht. He sends a Rolls Royce and driver to take her shopping. Another pays for her condo, and another gave her this Mercedes. How does she get to know these men?
The dates usually start with a coffee or a drink somewhere.
Cheers, Erin.
Cheers. And then you get to know each other, see if you're feeling the vibe, and then go on a second date and start talking about your rent, and they'll ask you how much money you need and what's your budget.
And what do the guys get?
The guys get a hot girl, arm candy that can make them look good and have fun with.
We went with Erin on a first date with 50-year-old Audie Gill. He says he's worth between $10 and $50 million. He owns 2 big production companies in Los Angeles. The arrangement website, he says, is a great way to meet women. How does it work?
You can make a deal with the girl. You don't have to worry whether it's gonna be yes or no. You don't have to take them to dinner and hope that maybe something will happen. The cards are on the table.
Men pay $45 to get on the site. Some, like Audie, pay an extra $1,000 to have the site verify his wealth and put his profile in a prominent spot. And you're not a bad-looking guy. I would think you could find women without paying.
All day long.
So why do this?
Because most of them are drop-dead gorgeous. The Match.com women are boring. The other thing is, you want to buy the age gap.
You find younger women this way.
That's right. If you go to most of these websites, the girls say, I'd like to find somebody between 25 and 35. Well, I don't fall into this category anymore. But when they come and meet me and they go out and say, wait a second, he's 50-year-old, but he's a whole lot more fun than a 35-year-old man.
Is it satisfying?
It works and it's satisfying.
It works so well, Audie says he has to turn his profile off Monday through Friday due to the overwhelming response.
I've got thousands of emails. Thousands.
Thousands of women?
Thousands, okay?
An MIT grad, entrepreneur Brandon Wade, started Seeking Arrangement 3 years ago. It's an odd business.
Well, totally, but the inspiration came partially because I was at MIT. I mean, I was very much a nerd and a geek. I wasn't very good at the social scene. I was on regular dating websites. I would write messages to beautiful women, and I would not hear a response. And I understand why. How am I to compete with hundreds of thousands of men out there? What stood me out from the rest of the guys?
And money was part of that.
It would be silly to say, you know, money's not important in society.
I love the pants.
He says sugar daddies get more than sex. Many get makeovers. Brandon says his sugar baby, who is now his wife, transformed him into the man he is today.
I like how your booty looks in this.
He wrote a book with cartoons like this one, The Sugar Daddy Makeover.
That's a representation of me. I was wearing those Harry Potter glasses, and women would not give me any time of the day. But I met my wife, who is about 13 years younger than me.
This looks good.
She likes to pick out stuff for me. And my transformation is one of the benefits that sugar daddies get.
The women make them look better?
Oh, absolutely.
Here's another of his pictures. Opposites attract. I mean, Not really. Women like this don't normally go for guys like that.
They do on Seeking Arrangement.
An estimated 3 million women now advertise on this and other sugar daddy websites. These three are happy to call themselves sugar babies.
Absolutely.
Babies, it's so dependent, helpless.
We're out there getting ours, so I don't think it's far from being helpless.
Natalie, a single mom from Montana, was struggling to make ends meet. Then she made an arrangement that she says changed her life.
For me, getting on this site wasn't about living this lavish lifestyle. It was really about just feeling secure with my basic needs. I got to spend time with my son without having to worry about, am I gonna have the rent paid?
One sugar daddy helped her get into a better apartment.
I had just come out of school, I was transitioning a job, and I didn't have a car that worked very well. And by the second month, he got us a brand new car. And I never thought that I'd have a new car ever. And I never once thought when I made this investment on this site that something like this could happen.
I'm not giving a handout. I'm getting something. You know what? I've seen women there which actually came out of a magazine. The girl who works for me can take her out of a magazine.
After meeting that woman on Seeking Arrangement, Audie gave her a job.
She's my receptionist now at work. She works for me.
He hired another woman to be his personal entertainment coordinator.
For next month, you're going to make sure that I have a good life. You'll make some dinner reservation, we'll go out, we'll roll in the sheets. And she said, I can do that. So I made that arrangement with her, and I had a wonderful month.
What happened?
It's a little too much to put on national television.
Okay. Isn't it demeaning?
To whom?
Sex for money? To both of you.
No, because it's not sex for money.
It's kind of like sex for
It's
money.
kind of, but it's not.
The website Seekingarrangement.com is one of several that offer wealthy men, mostly older and often married wealthy men, a new way to meet women. But meeting women this way has risks. An heir to the DuPont fortune, multimillionaire Stephen Dent, advertised himself as a sugar daddy on this site. And then he was blackmailed to keep his arrangement a secret from his wife. Dent continued to use the website, but then more blackmail attempts began. 4 people have been charged with trying to extort more than $100,000 from Dent.
But you expect that when you have a website where you have lots of beautiful women, lots of rich men gather. And
Brandon Wade, CEO of that site.
at the end of the day, dating is a risky thing on the internet, so precautions need to be taken.
He should know. 7 years ago, he had his own brush with the law over his online activities. He pled guilty to soliciting sex from an undercover police officer posing as a minor. Since then, he changed his name and started Seeking Arrangement. We stumbled across his criminal record while researching this story. In a statement to 2020, Brandon said he regrets what happened and has completed his probation.
Really ugly and horrible things are happening to millions of people.
Former prosecutor Wendy Murphy condemns these sites.
I don't know how you can call it anything but prostitution.
This Mid-South doctor is accused of soliciting sex for money by marketing himself on the internet as a sugar daddy.
The doctor was caught with cash in his pocket at a rendezvous spot, a truck stop.
The doctor pled not guilty, and there's a disconnect here. The anchors talk about paying for sex like it's obviously a terrible crime.
Tried to hire young prostitutes on the internet.
But most of the time, no one pays any attention. Millions of women advertise themselves on the sites, and they aren't prosecuted. No one locked up Elliot Spitzer.
What the hell were you thinking?
People joke about prostitution. Women on sugar daddy websites say things like,
I'm not a slut or a prostitute like people might say. And if someone wants to help me out financially, it's nobody else's business.
and sexual advertising isn't secret. Craigslist has a huge adult services section. The yellow pages, 20 pages of what looked to me like obvious, they call them escort, massage, looks like prostitution. This isn't prosecuted either.
It's a crime that not a lot of people care about. Doesn't mean we should give up and just let it happen.
Why isn't this prostitution?
We do not allow prostitutes or escorts on the website. I draw a very clear line between what is prostitution and what isn't. Well, a prostitute takes your money and has to sleep with you no matter what.
The street worker could say to the guy in the car, no, I'm not going with you. So how are you not prosecuted for prostitution?
Just because a guy gives a woman money and sleeps with her doesn't necessarily mean it's prostitution.
But you know, in 1955, my father made an arrangement with my mother, with a ring on her finger, okay? And he said, I'm gonna support you for the rest of your life. If you make an arrangement for an hour, it's sleazy, but an arrangement for 50 years is okay. So is it a time factor?
Well, yeah, an arrangement for an hour seems sleazier than a marriage.
An hour may seem sleazy, and it probably is, but when you take it a little bit farther into a day, a week, a month, you know, then it appears to be a little bit better, I guess. Prostitution is just an ugly word for it.
Sex for money is prostitution, if not slavery. If I can own you, you're a slave.
Calling this slavery is an insult to people who suffered real slavery. I mean, there's a big difference between voluntary and forced.
It's not a clear sale the way slavery was, but it's darn close because of what's being sold. Access to the intimate self.
Sex is not always part of the arrangement. Natalie, the single mom who says Seeking Arrangement changed her life, points out that one man she met on the site bought her a new car, and yet they never had sex. They only talked on the phone. You never were together, ever?
Never. And that is also the part that is hard for people to believe, and I know that's why it's such a miracle. You see what I'm saying? Like, how could you possibly imagine that would happen?
So what's he getting out of it? Why is he giving you this money?
I'm sure that he felt satisfied knowing that he was taking care of somebody that he felt was true and honest and that really needed help.
He may have been satisfied, but that's clearly not what most men on the site are looking for.
To be honest with you, one of the things that make men happy, right, is sex. Put it out there. It does. It makes men happy.
And Audie likes to think that the women, once they get to know him, are not just in it for the money. But Aaron told us,
if one of my sugar daddies ran out of money, I probably wouldn't talk to him anymore.